Hi guys, well following on from my last video where I've been sent the hose pipe by the company KooPower. Not quite sure what was going on with that one. It seemed to me like they wanted a hose pipe, to send me a hose pipe from Amazon and buy it from a different seller, which maybe is a seller trying to impersonate the company or something. I'm not too sure what happened with that. But they have followed up on their promise to send me these solar fairy lights. So as you can see, these are branded KooPower. They are manufactured, I believe, by a different company on behalf of KooPower. So designed by KooPower, manufactured by King Success Industrial Limited in China. So take a look at the back of the box. We can see we've got 100 LEDs, power source solar, warm white, 14-month guarantee, that's good. So 12 metres, 39 feet in length, IP55 rated, 8 different modes and function switch for on, off and timer. Please ensure solar panel is pointed towards the sunlight. Yep, at least 6 hours of exposure to sunlight is required for illumination. The lights can illuminate for 6 to 7 hours if the solar panel is charged in optimal lighting conditions. So not so much the solar power being charged but the battery inside. So if we pop these open. Now I don't have a garden here, so I don't have anywhere specifically to put these, but I think these will make a nice little decorative item around the flat. Certainly be useful for Christmas, and you know, I can just put the solar panel by a window or something, give it a little bit of charge. So this is how it comes presented. Plastic box there, take the lid off that. So in here we've got a base plate, we've got our solar panel there, and that's connected through to our lights, so have a look at that in a minute. We've got a couple little posts here, so these obviously just interlock like so. You've also got a stake as well, so if you've got a stand you can screw that down somewhere in the garden, or you can simply pop that onto your stake and then just stick that into your into the ground, into the grass or the mud somewhere. So this obviously clips on the back of here, and that looks like it's just going to slide on. Yep, it slides on. Quite a firm fit, but that's good because you don't want it to sort of just fall off. So that's just press fitted on there, and that obviously gives us sort of optimal angle towards the sun. So we'll pop that off for now and put that to the side. So here's our LEDs there, and we've got some instructions. They're in English. Yeah, no electricity cost. Well, I suppose there isn't really, is there? No, you just got the outlay of the unit and the batteries. So 2 times 18650 battery slots in there. One is provided for an 18650 2200 milliamp hour battery. The other slot is for battery backup. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I guess just sort of double battery power really. On low power or cloudy day, you can take out the battery and charge it with a battery charger. Yeah, that's fine. So we've got a timer program, so that does 4 hours on and 20 hours off. So we've seen that a lot with various different LED light sets. You get them a lot with the Christmas lights now. So once you turn it on, then you'll get a set period of time where it turns off. So if you turn it on at, say, 8 o'clock at night, then you're going to get 4 hours. So it's going to be on until 12, sorry, on till 12. And then, so you've got the 4 hours on, at 12 o'clock, midnight, it will go off and it'll stay off for 20 hours and then come back on. So you're kind of just repeating that pattern. 8 modes and brightness settings, so we'll have a look at that. It says good for Christmas, Easter, etc. So that's the instructions, so we'll put that to the side as well. So here's our string of LEDs. Fairly bog standard really, kind of what you'd expect to put on your Christmas tree really. But these could be quite useful in the garden, certainly if you've got some trees you want to decorate in there. So standard string of LEDs. Yeah, it looks like we're, I'm thinking we're going in parallel on these possibly, maybe series. I might have to pop the cover off one of them to have a look at it. And this connector I'm guessing will unscrew. Yeah, so that unscrews, and we've just got a 2-pin connector there, and that can only go one way around. It's got a little notch there and a little groove in there, so you can't get it the wrong way around and blow the lights up. So that's nice to see. I don't know how waterproof that will be, because there's no sort of gasket seals or anything on there, but it's a reasonable fit and it does sort of tighten up. But you may get some water ingress in that. So over to the solar panel unit. So quite a reasonable size panel. That's certainly not not small by any standard compared to some of the sort of cheap solar lights you get, which have kind of virtually quarter size panel to that. So that you can see against my hands, it's quite a decent sized panel. So on the back of the unit we've got a single push button there, and we've got some clips here to undo the back. So pop them off. Okay, so here we have actually got a rubber gasket there. That's good to see. That will certainly help with its being waterproof. And here we've got, yes, one 18650 cell. So I'm not quite sure why they only provide one when they've made room for two. It seems an interesting thing. So there's our one cell, so we can take the little protective layer off. Alright, that the battery cannot be mounted in a contrary way. In other words, don't mount it upside down or you're likely to damage it. So we'll pop that in there. Be interesting to see if we turn that on. So lights are come on now. Do they operate in the other battery slot as well? So is it going to work as a kind of dual? Yeah, so it doesn't matter which slot you actually have the battery in. So obviously you could put in two 18650s. You're going to get extra time, for running them. So we're on the straight on position, and at the moment we've just got kind of fade in, fade out effect. So I'll pop the lid down on that one for now, and let's try a different mode. Yeah, it's a kind of stroby, flashy. You see that a lot of other lights. Tad annoying. I wouldn't want that on, to be honest with you. What have we got? Steady on, I think. Yeah, I think that must be a kind of steady on. Kind of twinkly effect. Looks like the same but slightly far. Oh, I see, that's just doing multi-speed effect there. That's the same as that one. And then we've got a glowing effect. I'm imagining that's going to fade out and then the other half will glow as well. Yep. So I think this is where it's doing the switching of polarity to get the opposite side. So it's basically just switching the polarity of the LEDs around alternate cycles. And yep, some interesting flashing effects there. Some fades there. Now the flickering you can see on the camera is the camera. These look pretty clearly faded to me, but there is a slight flicker on there. And sorry, another strobing one. And I think we're back to steady on. So they're the various modes you've got. Probably the steady on would be about right. They're not super bright. That might be because the battery in there is a bit low, because I haven't obviously had it out and had it charged yet. So if I turn off the overhead lighting, it's not dark in here, but that gives you an idea of the kind of output you get, and the colour match on camera is pretty close to what I'm actually seeing. They are quite a nice warm white colour. So all in all, quite impressed with those. It seems nicely put together. Glad to see they've got a nice sealing gasket there. The solar panel, hard to tell if there's any seal around the edges on that, and whether or not water's likely to come in. It looks like you can actually pop the top cover off there. Yes. Wonder if that would reveal anything. Let's have a look. So yeah, the top surround there comes off. It does that. It doesn't drop out. I'd imagine that's been glued in somehow. So yeah, I don't know how waterproof that will be in the long term, if you'd want to put some clear tape or something over the top just to protect it a bit. At some point in the future I might see how easy it would be to actually get this unit apart. Well, actually not too hard at all, so I'll tell you what, we'll take it apart right now. Let's get it done in one go. So I can find a screwdriver that will fit. I think that's a bit too small. That's not too bad. Let's have a look at the internals. I expect we would just have a one of those chip on board style microcontroller in there just to do the different patterns, and obviously some circuitry to charge the batteries in it as well. It's nice to see they're using 18650 batteries. The only thing I'd be a bit worried about with lithium batteries in this is any kind of heat you're going to get from the sun. You don't want the battery to obviously overheat and explode or anything. So we take that sealing ring off there, and yeah, so see if we can figure out how to get that apart. Okay, that just pops straight off like that. Let's go in a bit closer and have a look. Okay, so here's a closer look inside. So we got our on, off and timer button there, our straightforward push button there, and an individual board here. So all the goodness must be on the back of this one, so there isn't really much to see on the front. So let's have a look if we can lift it out. Yeah, it's not been glued into place, that's good. So we got our connectors going off to the battery there. We got our solar panel one, it's coming in negative and positive there, and that has been put down with some hot melt glue, so that will certainly add a bit of weather resistant sort of protection there. See if we can get this thing to lift out a little bit more. Certainly held in well by all the cables. Let's see if we can get a look at the other side. Now we can pop that out, that's useful, that helps a bit. So here's a closer look at the other side. Tilt that up a bit for you. So we've got a 8-pin package there. Let's see if I can see what that is. Not very easily, bear with me. No, I can't quite make out the numbers on that. There's a closer image if you guys want to look up what those part numbers are. So one of those would be a microcontroller. So I was expecting a chip on board, but we haven't, in a kind of blob style, but we haven't actually got that on there. So that's quite nice. So where's our battery connectors going? Out to the battery is, we've got ground is over here, and so whatever that must be, some kind of switching MOSFET I would imagine, because the whole of the ground is completely common on that side. And actually it's only that end pin there and the inner 2 pins that are connected on that. My apologies for being off camera. So as I was saying, that's a complete, all those pins there are completely connected across the ground. End pin there is connected, and to that side are connected on this small 8-pin package here. And then our positive for the battery is going out, here we are, A plus over there. Quite nice construction. The soldering looks reasonable. It's not too bad. There are a few. That's just on the switch there. They've connected it across there, but not on that side at all. Other than that, it doesn't look too bad to the eye. So quite a nice little circuit there. I don't know what kind of voltage we're going to get off that off the solar panel. Certainly not going to get a massive amount indoors or anything, and there isn't any sort of LED indication that it's actually charging or anything. So it's kind of a case of just hope that it is charging. Really, I'll have to leave it in the leave the panel in the window or something and just see how well that does. It obviously won't do as well as if you've got it out in your garden. I might well lend it to a friend and say, can you test it out for a little while? So there we are. So there was the solar fairy lights from KooPower. These are available on Amazon. I think they're about 20 something pound. Have a look. I'll put a link into the description if I can find it on the in the description on the video below. And I hope you found that video useful. And yeah, thanks again to KooPower for sending me these lights. Catch you soon for the next video. Cheers.